Let's see if it's following my face. Oh, come on, you.
You're just living life and having a right good laugh.
Oh, there we go. Look at this. They following me. No way. Unbelievable. I've had this camera for about a year. I never knew it could do that. Unreal. Right. My legs are cooked after that. So, 3 sessions in one day. First session was all about practicing form and kind of like basic drills for running, because that's a big focus that I personally need. Then we moved into some squats. I'll put the full workout in a video. Start off with back squats, iso push against bar for 8 seconds. Moved into blah blah blah. That wasn't right. So we moved iso push against bar for 8 seconds, then 5 back squats, then a 100-meter hard row. So basically, starting from an isometric, move into a bit of strength, and then some power output. Did 4 sets of that. Then we moved into some EMOMs. Probably the hardest EMOM I've ever done. Wasn't it? It was, final part of the workout was every minute on the minute. First minute, 18 calories on the ski. Second minute, 15 cal on the echo bike. Third minute, we rotated between 12.5 metre sled push and 25 metre sled push. So basically 12.5 metre was loaded up quite heavy and we're trying to overpace it. And then the 25 metres was a bit lighter, but we focused on like moving full lengths without stopping basically. Did that for 24 minutes. And then the big man's still gone. I decided to get an arm pump, which I'll attach to the full workout as well. Session 2 is basically going to be focused on running. It's usually like tempo work. So what I've got down here is 2.5k at 3:45 test lactate. Depending on how high the lactate is, I'll decide how fast I'm going to improve each 2.5 kilometre interval. So I've got 3 sets of 2.5k, trying to increase by 10 seconds each round. 90 seconds rest in between. Then I'm going to follow up from last week's workout, which was 500 metre ski, 45 seconds rest, 5 rounds, 200 metre ski, 45 seconds rest, 8 rounds. The goal for the ski is to work round about race pace, or you're starting off race pace. So usually when I'm in a singles race, I'll start off like 1:42 to 1:44, and I'll stay there for like 400 metres. So the goal is to kind of hold that for all consecutive sets of each 500 metre interval. And then the 200s, I'm going to be close to doubles pace, but I'm going to start off 1:35 to 1:38. See that, Adam? I'm going to start off to 1:35 to 1:38. Trying to get back in the bandwagon with the YouTube, so if you've got any advice on how I can make this better, then let me know. My goal is to try and speak more clearly, because I know there's people that like to interact with me but they just don't quite understand me. So if I sound like an idiot to most Scottish people, that's probably why. Because I'm trying to speak more polite, so the Germans and the Americans, the Aussies seem to understand me a bit. But just so other people can actually understand what I'm saying. session 2. This one's going to be done on a treadmill, mainly because I've got track later on tonight with the full gym, or whoever joins. So the plan is, can I take this more tempo based? I'll test lactate, monitor it to make sure I'm not overspilling. Ideally for this session I'd like to stay under 2 millimoles, and I'll just kind of base the pace off that. It's going to be somewhere in the region of 345 to maybe 335 if I'm feeling good and everything's looking well. You may be wondering why I split it up into 3 sessions. Realistically, I could make this out of 2 sessions, but just because I've got the time on a Monday, I figured I'll get most out of my running if I split it up and make it into 2 separate running sessions. Then it means in the morning I can really focus on the Hyrox work and the strength work. Right, second session finished. That one was pretty decent. I managed to stay in control according to the lactate readings. I managed 1.7 millimoles, 1.5 millimoles, and then 1.6. It was 2.5k at 3:45, 2.5k again at 3:45, and then I did 2k. Just my legs were a bit blown from this morning session, so I did 2k at 3:40 pace, and that felt fine as well. And that was the last reading of 1.6. So that session shows me that I managed to stay in control because I wasn't big jumps in lactate readings. So I was happy with that. And one thing I would say is, if you're testing your lactate often, like, I don't know completely everything about lactate, I'm just learning as I go. But what I notice is it does change from treadmill to treadmill, and that's due to like calibration settings. So some treadmills are going to be slightly faster than others. Same if you run on like a treadmill, then you run the assault runner, and then you run outdoors. There could be a gap of, like, what I've noticed is between 2 and roughly 8 seconds of a difference. So outside, like, my threshold run about 3 millimoles is like 3:29 pace, and then indoors I'm like 3:22 pace. So it's quite a big difference. So it's good to know. It's good to get tested outside, and it's good to get tested inside. But again, you should always try and just go on how you feel that day, and because I've been caught up in the science of things before, and I end up just thinking too much rather than just training the energy system, and that's it really. Don't think too much, just get it done. So next session is going to be the track, and I will see you tonight. Got 30 seconds here. First part of the session, 2 by 5 minutes at threshold, 90 seconds easy jog between, and then we're kind of improving each set, so try to get a bit faster. And then we've moved into 6 sets of 500 metres, and then we were supposed to finish with 100 metres hard, but we're going to leave that, it's too slidey. I've got 10 seconds. Right, final session of the day finished. The goal for me in this session was to get a faster turnover in the legs. Rather than just smashing my body, I wanted to like try and maintain like a decent pace throughout the full session. So I started off 3:41 pace for the 5 minutes, and then moved into 3:29 pace for the next 5 minutes, and then each 500 metre interval I did around about 3:16 to 3:20 pace, making sure my last was the fastest. but I was finishing them roughly 1 minute 37 to 1 minute 39. Also on the plan, we were supposed to do 5 by 100 metres, but the track was just too icy. So even the 500's going a bit harder, well, like, it was almost impossible to move that, like, to move fast. So we decided just to touch in them just above threshold pace. And that's that. One full day of training done. Hope you enjoyed it. And I would like to hear some feedback. So just comment in the comments box and let me know what I can do to improve, or if there's anything you're looking for, let me know, and I'll hopefully video that in the future.